Okay, we're starting. Okay, so welcome to Zoom tonight when we do chapter 7 of Miracle Morning for Network Marketers. Now, before we get into that, I am going to go through some announcements for Roy as she's unable to jump on tonight. So we're going to go ahead and do the announcements for her. So the first thing is January Jump. We just went over this a little bit if you are just jumping on. But January Jump is something you definitely want to be a part of. I'll tell you guys, Fall Advance was the first time I got to be part of the Mattis National Area, the W.I.L.D National Area, and I'm so excited to be back in everyone's space at Jump. And my girls are too. We're coming from Ohio, so it's a little bit about me. I'll tell you a little bit about me here in just a second. But that is the 5th, January 5th and 6th. We're headed to Jump. Now, you can go on and still register yourself, and you can register your spouse as well. And I've been checking flights for me. Some of the flights are still expected to go down. Some of them are starting to go up already. So if you do not have the Hopper app, I would suggest checking out Hopper or something like that so that you can be watching flights if you're somebody who's going to be flying in. So our special guest for that event is Crystal Trojanowski. You guys, she began her career in 2010, and by seminar when did she debut as a national? 2016 maybe? No, before that I believe. Anyways, she was super quick at debuting as a national, and so we want to be in her space and find out some tips that she's got for helping all of us move in our business more effectively. Now, in order to be closer to her and closer to Roya, we need to get all of the recognition possible so we can be rubbing shoulders with them. The Flash says the drive from New England is long and might cost just as much. Okay. So here we go. Recognition. Remember, you get special seating when you are a second quarter star and when you are a red jacket. So here's the deal. You're going to see me tonight reading from my notes right in front of me and looking up at the screen. That's the same kind of seating you get for special recognition. The rest of those of you who won't be getting the special recognition will be like this, trying to concentrate and write on your lap at the same time. Not the best way for you to even be able to stay focused, because when you're hunched over trying to write on your lap, you don't even have the good posture to get the oxygen flow to even be able to stay alert and to get everything that they have ready to pour into us. So you want the special seating. Directors, remember, we get it too when we achieve our unit growth. Okay, fast pass. I told my unit I'm all about the fast pass because I'm all about eating quick, and then I got to go potty. I have the world's smallest bladder. So I'm all about the fast pass. And that is when you and your unit achieve the unit growth challenge. So if you don't know what your unit growth challenge is, talk to your director and find out what it is. Also, special recognition for those who have completed the Double Down contest, which I love. Hopefully you guys are tracking that. Book 8 Achievers. And we've had several Book 8 Achievers in October and November already. Special recognition for on-target stars and for those who are on target for courts, both Court of Sales and Court of Sharing. Court of Sales, you need to have 20,000 wholesale in by December 31st, and Court of Sharing is 12 new qualified by December 31st. Okay, and then you can check out the flyer for the rest of the recognition there. Just know that this is one of those events that you're going to miss out on, and you will never be able to catch the experience from the consultants who go. Like, we'll try to come back and share with people who don't go, and it's not the same. You have to be there live and in person to experience it. It is absolutely unbelievable. So make sure that you get on roymattis.com and get registered for that as soon as possible. Have you guys been checking out the new products? Have you been checking out the new lipsticks and the new mask? Oh my gosh, these are amazing. New or consultants who were stars and did PCP last quarter, you can now order the new products. And those of you who didn't, you can order the 15th. A little story about the mask. You know, we've all been taking the scary pictures, the Freddy Krueger mask pictures and posting them, and people are loving them. I've had people stop me at the gym and ask me about them. And I thought, okay, who do I have who has a special event? Because the video, which I love, shows the gal who wants to change her entire body in like 2 weeks for her class reunion. So I was trying to rack my brain, who do I have that I could do that with? Well, I had a customer whose daughter got married yesterday. My customer is a twin. So I contacted both of them and they came over last week to pilot this new product for me and test it out. And they came over, put it on, chit-chatted, loved it. Now, if I should have been able to screen share and show you a picture of them, but their skin is very, it's like the deep pitted acne scars from when they were teenagers, like very, very rough skin. And they loved the mask. And they kept looking at each other going, this is Wednesday, the wedding's Saturday. We have to do this again. When can we do this again? So Saturday morning, I met them at the hair salon and put the masks, we did the masks again, and they walked around the hair salon with the masks on while they were getting their hair done, and all the bridesmaids were getting ready with the Freddy Krueger mask on. So much fun, but they could not stop raving about this new mask. So get it quick so that you can be testing it out yourselves and be posting those pictures, because our customers love before and after pictures, but they are so much more valuable to our customers when they are actually us, when they can see us as the people or people they know from their own community in the before and after pictures and get their own testimonials. So new product launch, you want to make sure that you do that. Okay, next announcement. Next announcement is the Consistency Club. Are you working your Consistency Club challenge? Consistency Club from October through December. When you are consistent in ordering at the minimum 250 all 3 months, then you will get 2 of the new Faces Take You Places keychains. These are super cute. I still kept the plastic on them so I didn't scratch them up. But here they are. So you're going to get 2 of these keychains. And one is dropped in a box. Okay, but we know that we are not lowball achievers. So we're going to move up this Consistency Club and achieve the highest level. But I'm just going to show you the stepping stones on the way. So $400 wholesale achievers is going to get this beautiful New Faces Take You Places ring tray. And I think somebody said they were taking this to their classes and they were having people put their rings on them when they did the Set in Hands challenge or Set in Hands. That way they can show their customers, these are the things that you help me earn when you support my business. These are things that I get to indulge in because of your support. And then, of course, with the $600 wholesale order every month, you are going to achieve your bracelets, and we all have our bracelet collections. And then moving up, we have the $1,000 wholesale all 3 months, gives you the New Faces Take You Places journal. Love this. I hope you guys are as big of journalers as I am learning to be as part of our savers from Miracle Morning. And then $1,670 gives you the beautiful bracelet bar. I love this. I think this just makes your dresser look extremely fancy. As a director, I've had it displayed in my dining room so that when everybody comes to my house, I can show them what this is. My customers are learning that these are like little extra gifts, incentives that our consultants earn just for working their business. And some of them are a little jealous because they don't get prizes like that in their own job. So be consistent. Hopefully, I trust that you have this printed somewhere, that you are tracking your sales daily and weekly and monthly for that. And then, of course, dun, 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 the All 8 Challenge. Are you going to be all in with 8? This is the last month to get your 8 to submit December 1st for DIQ. So again, you guys should be able to say this in your sleep, the qualifications for this. You must be active. You must have 8 active personal team members. That's it. That's it. Nothing else, and you can get in for DIQ. And then you can finish the qualification in up to 3 months with your 24 total active team members. Do not have to be qualified, but your total DIQ production is 13.5, and monthly DIQ unit is 4,000. Easy peasy, right? Easy peasy lemon squeezy, that's what my kids say. So those are your announcements today. If I'm missing anything, go ahead and let me know real quick through chat or a box or something like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna jump in to our Miracle Morning for network marketers. Okay, so I recently, earlier this fall, read the regular Miracle Morning book, maybe it was this summer, read the regular Miracle Morning book, and it rocked my world. I have been working on being more habitual and intentional in implementing all of these habits in the morning. Sometimes I have spaced them out in the past, but I love the fact that I can get those done in the morning and feel so accomplished in the morning. And I love the fact that we can carry this even a little bit further with the Network Marketer Group. So I'm going to just kind of highlight a little bit of my favorite parts of Chapter 7, and then I'm going to expand a little bit towards the end and then open it up for questions. So this was interesting for me that this week is about getting quality leads. Purposeful prospecting was the name of it. And I'll explain why here in just a second. So some of the things that really hit my hot button is, how do you get quality leads? I know that we hear that a lot. How do I find quality people that I want to work with, that I have the desire to work with because they're of the quality and the caliber of women that I need in my business or that need to be part of my unit? And I think sometimes, I know for me, it's easier for us to stereotype and justify why we think we're not able to get good leads. And the bottom line is, it's just an excuse. The reason you're not getting good leads is because you're making up too many stinking excuses. And I know common ones for me is, or common ones that I hear are, there's not enough people in my area. I live in too small of a town, which we frequently say where I'm from. There's too many consultants in my area. How am I gonna find people that don't already have a consultant? There's too many people in my area. I've heard there's too few people in my area, and there's too many people in my area. All of those, honestly, you guys, are just excuses. For the people who say there's too many people in their area, how are they gonna find the quality people? We've learned, this is actually something that Ryan Turjanowski told my husband, because that's what he said. As soon as he found out that they were originally from California, he's like, oh, well, no wonder Crystal's building so fast. You guys are around a ton of people. And Ryan said, absolutely not. He said, yes, there's a ton of people. Do you know how many people she has to see on a daily and weekly basis to find the few quality people? So that was kind of eye-opening for us. But you guys, we have to think about, people are everywhere. So we don't need to sit and think about where to find them. We need to go do. We need to go find them. And the best way to find them is to have daily conversations with people, not sitting at home trying to think of how I could find people. Find them in your daily life. Be out and about. Don't be holed up in your home office. Excuse me, I'll never forget one of the nationals at seminar one year, and I have no idea who it was, but she said her goal for the year was to move her office out of her home. She was going to go find a space and rent a space outside of her home, because she was finding by staying at home, not only was she becoming more distracted by the stuff she had, you know, laundry, things like that, but she wasn't meeting anybody because she was staying at home. So one of the best ways to get out there, the most exciting ways to meet people, is to be out and around them. Live an exciting, happy life. All right? So how do you do that? Well, what are things you've always wanted to do? What is on your local bucket list? It could be, I want to visit a new coffee shop every week or every month. Or I want to take, I had a gal tonight on a career chat tell me she wants to take a cake decorating class. What's something you've always wanted to learn to do? Maybe visit a new library. Go to the library in the neighboring town or something like that. Find something that you can do that's in a different location from your norm, and then that is going to get you around new people that you have the chance to meet and then prospect with. Sorry guys, this is like the screen distracting me a little bit. Okay, focus. Okay, here's another thing. One of my, and this is my personal pet peeve, one of my personal pet peeves is people in direct sales companies or who are trying to network with other people who have a negative attitude about stuff. We need to live a happy, positive, exciting life. And one of the ways that you can do that is through your social media. So we're going to talk about that here in just a second. But when you're around those people, okay, so let's pretend you're going to take the advice of this gal in this career chat tonight, and you're going to take a cake decorating class. The first thing you want to do is you want to be friendly, and you want to start that initial relationship by introducing yourselves to them. Being extremely introvert, like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most introverted person you will ever meet, I'm like a 15. So starting a conversation with someone, shaking someone's hand was downright impossible for me when I started my Mary Kay business. I taught 3rd and 4th grade special ed when I started my Mary Kay business. And the reason I always taught 3rd and 4th grade was by the end of 4th grade, the kids were as tall as I was. And that's when I became intimidated by them. I couldn't talk to them anymore. I was too scared. They had to move on. So starting a conversation with an adult was like out of the question. I tell people all the time when we have to do, stand up and greet everybody in church, I was like, I think I need to go to the bathroom because I'm not going to talk to people. Okay, so being friendly and starting that relationship and introducing yourself, number 1, makes you a leader, but number 2, makes you an easier person for people to be drawn to. Okay, so don't sit at home thinking of the perfect script, the perfect line, the perfect sample, the perfect business card. Just get out and do it. If you fail, you're going to feel better by being tongue-tied than sitting at home and failing by never doing anything. Because even when you get out there and you're tongue-tied doing something, people are going to laugh with you and they're going to remember you because of that. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about being perfect. Just be authentic and just be real. Okay? Now also when you do that, remember that it is a numbers game. A numbers game, because people are going to say no. Some people are going to say yes. But even if they say no to your Mary Kay right now, but you still continue the conversation and are friendly with them, they're going to come around. They're going to say yes because they develop trust in you. All right? Now, here's another thing. When we became Mary Kay consultants, I don't know about you guys. I didn't use Mary Kay before I started my business. But when we become Mary Kay consultants and we get to jump into these amazing products, not only do we fall in love with our products, but we fall in love with our opportunity. And all of a sudden, we find out that we have diarrhea of the Mary Kay mouth, right? Diarrhea of the Mary Kay mouth. And we are a walking commercial everywhere we go, which is awesome. We're super excited about our business, but we need to make sure that we still have a balance of like personal, relatable stuff along with our exciting Mary Kay life that we live. And so we have to make sure we keep our conversation natural. Like going up and talking to someone and starting the conversation, giving them a sincere compliment, asking them to tell you a little bit about them or what they do or something like that before you start saying, I'm a Mary Kay consultant, here's my product. That's going to be overwhelming, and that's going to make it look like we have more of the dollar sign in our eyes and not the relationship in our eyes. Okay, so what you think about something? Think about that thing that you love to buy. For me, it's shoes. Okay, think about the last new pair of shoes that you bought. Were you not super excited about them? Right? Super excited about your new pair of shoes. Did you call somebody and say, oh my gosh, I just got the coolest pair of boots, right? Right, it's boot season. Just got the coolest pair of boots. Wait till you see them. Or maybe you even posted a picture of it on social media. Or for me, my niece and I, we used to send pictures of our new boots or new shoes all the time to each other. Okay, we have to be excited about, oh my gosh, I love this, not who wants to go buy boots like mine, right? I love this new shade of lipstick, not who wants to buy my new shade of lipstick. Just have that everyday excitement. But again, when you're posting it on social media, your customers come to you because they love you. Yes, they love our Mary Kay product, but they love you. And that's why they're coming to you. So if you would scroll back and look at your timeline on social media, what percentage would you say do you post about Mary Kay versus your personal life? Especially as beginning consultants, I think sometimes we tend to post like 99% Mary Kay and 1% business. But our customers love to learn about us and our families. They love to see what we're accomplishing, what our family's accomplishing, the fun that we're having together, and even the things that that they provide for our families. Okay, so here's an example. I love posting about pictures of different products when we come out with product. But then I also put family stuff in between. Friday, I took my oldest on a college visit. So we took selfies of attending that and, you know, just mixing it up for people. And that way my customers have that bond with me as a relationship, not just as their salesperson, because I'm not just their salesperson. I'm a consultant and a friend. Okay, so be authentic in that without being pushy. And I guarantee you, if 99% of what you post is about your business, your customers are going to lose interest because you now just became that used car salesman that's super pushy. Okay. All right. So in the book, he went on to talk about three different ways that you can find new people. Number one, I love. He calls it the market research approach. We call it a model portfolio or a test panel. Right now, we should all be having either one of these, a model portfolio or a test panel for the new mask and for the new lipsticks. The new masks and the new lipsticks. You can Google Mary Kay portfolios. You can ask your sales director. There are tons of ways to do portfolios and test panels in your business, but it is a fantastic way for you to meet people. One of the things that I love to do is when I get together with customers, I am building my working women's portfolio. So I ask, who do you know who are in different professions? And you can name them. You can have a sheet of paper already printed out with lists, and I have everybody from teachers to chefs to firefighters to home health aides to physicians, whatever. But if you can jog their memory, then you're going to be able to get into more of their people. Okay, approach number two, he calls it the you said approach. This is referring to the last time they mentioned something. So recently, I just saw a post of one of my friends who says, oh my gosh, I have such dry lips, I don't even know what to do. Hello, I'm right here, right? So that's when you message them or even comment on the post, hey, I saw that you noticed, or I noticed that you said you have dry lips, or satin lips is awesome for this time of year especially, it's going to take care of it right there, whatever. Or even people who are like, car just broke down and I don't know what we're going to do. You know, you can step in there and you can find new customers through the you said. Whatever it is, whether they said they were in need of a product that we can help them with or an opportunity like ours. Okay. And then of course, number three, the sincere compliment approach. I really don't even think that needs an explanation, right? The sincere compliment approach. Now, here's another thing. If you're going to be out and about and in public, ready to approach people with sincere compliments, you have to be ready to look the Mary Kay part when you offer them the opportunity, right? With dressing sharp and having your face on and things like that. But you also have to just start with a smile. Og Mandino, in the greatest salesman that ever lived, he says, before you start a conversation with somebody, you say to yourself, I love you. And then you can start the conversation. And even if you're whispering it to yourself, not that you don't want them to hear it because then you're like a crazy stalker person, but that's going to soften your facial expression so that you are more friendly to them. Okay, so I'm going to take the model portfolio a little bit like a step further tonight, and I want to expand on meeting people through vendor events. Okay, this is something that I feel like we have a lot of opportunity right now. I know in my area, there's a lot of like craft and holiday shows going around. We're going to be headed into the bridal show season and different vendor events. So I want to spend a couple of minutes tonight talking about that as we wrap up the call. So I'm going to give you some pointers and some do's and don'ts and things for vendor events. Bridal events or bridal fairs are my personal favorites because I find the greatest number of quality leads here. And I'll explain that here in just a second. There are craft fairs, there's county fairs, there are fundraising events, there's spring festivals, fall festivals, summer festivals, you name it. There are all kinds of festivals. Now, if you don't have connections to any kind of a festival, one of the ways that you can find them, is just on Google. You can just Google different festivals in your area. Another way to get into if you're trying to branch out of your community, you can call the local chamber of commerce. They'll have a listing of all of the events in that area. You can also look at maybe mom-to-mom events or MOPS events and things like that. A lot of radio stations will also advertise for local events. I know our radio stations do a lot with the bridal events here. Okay, and under Facebook, you can look under your events, and you can even search events near me, and you're gonna come up with a listing there. Amy Kemp suggests, she actually just sent a message out, one of the biggest ways that she finds vendor events is to ask other vendors. When she's at a vendor event, she will ask the person at the booth next to her, hey, what's the next one you're gonna do? Or what's your favorite vendor event that you do? And she said they're also gonna tell you which ones not to do. Hey, I did this one and it was awful. Nobody came, whatever, and something like that. And once you do a vendor event, usually I find that they typically save the information of all the vendors who participated in that event that year, and then the next year they send those people contact first. They get first dibs on their event. So once you're in, typically you're in for as long as you want it. Okay, now hopefully everybody knows, number one, you guys, we are not allowed to sell product at events. So here's the thing. I just had a vendor event last week, and I can have somebody come up and say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here. I need a foundation beige too. If she's specific enough that she knows what her foundation shade is, that's because she's using her foundation shade. She's probably got a consultant already, and just because she saw me sitting there does not mean that I am going to sell her product, because she's not my customer. Okay? Just because she realized when she saw me that she's out of product does not mean she can get it from me. I am not her consultant. And if she purchases from me, then I just cost Susie Consultant a sale. And that's not running your business with integrity. Now, here's an opposite situation. Could be if she runs up to you and says, oh my gosh, I am so glad to see you. I had a Mary Kay consultant years ago. Her name was Susie Q, and I can't get a hold of her. And you guys have my favorite mascara in the world. Okay, again, we don't sell from the table. You can write down her information and talk to her and deliver it to her at another time. But remember, your main purpose for that booth is to get leads and to set up contacts and appointments for new people, okay, not to sell at the table. I do find that a lot of times booths are more fun to split with one of my consultants. It's fun to have somebody to do it with. You get to split the cost. And sometimes one of you is feeling braver than the other. And so whoever's feeling the most brave starts, and then the other person can follow. So you feed off of each other's bravery, but you can also cover for each other if somebody's using the restroom or something like that. Okay. One tip too is just because a vendor event is expensive to do, to have a booth at, does not mean that it's a good one. I have spent lots of time and money on booths that are not very profitable. So you want to do a little bit of research about your event. So here's what I do, you guys. I am very picky about the types of vendor events that I do, because I take my business seriously. So I can't just spend time everywhere if it's not going to be beneficial for my business. So here are a couple of questions that I suggest you look into when checking out a vendor event. Number one, you do want to check and see the price, how much it is. Find out the location. Is it in a church? Is it in a library? Is it somewhere where there's a lot of traffic? I was invited to do a vendor event one time that was in a town like 15 miles from everybody. It's not even a town. I don't even think it would be considered a village. Nobody goes there, and people were not going to go there for a vendor event. Here in Ohio, it's cold and snowy and dark in the wintertime, and nobody wants to go anywhere, let alone way out in the boonies for a vendor event. So find out where it's at. Find out how many years it's been around. If it's an established vendor event, you can ask how many people typically come through that event every year. They should have numbers of that. You can find out how many booths they have. Vendor events with 3 vendors are not going to draw in a large crowd. Vendor events with a ton of vendors, you wanted, first of all, make sure that they don't have 2 Mary Kay consultants there, right? but also check and see if they take time into who they put there. So for instance, I had a vendor event I did on Thursday last week, and they did tell me ahead of time that there was going to be one other skincare company there, but they were going to make sure that our tables were not near each other at all, because that would be a conflict of interest. And I'm going to go back to that other vendor here in just a minute. But those are some questions you ask. How much are they? Where are they? How many years has it been around? Also ask, how do they advertise it? How do they advertise it? Just posting it on Facebook, I'm not going to come. I'm sorry, my time is too valuable. We all have 100 events we're invited to every week that we don't even look up. I am not going to come if they just advertise it on Facebook. Putting it on Facebook, the radio, posting signs around town, yeah, I'll be there then. Sending out emails to different people, I will be there then. Finding out how many people usually come through it is another great way to see if it's going to be beneficial. If you're in doubt, ask your sales director about it. Ask them if they've done something like that before. Now, another thing to think about, when a vendor event first starts, depending on the event, sometimes there's a rush of people that come through. Just because there's a rush of people does not mean that's the best type of event. Sometimes I prefer the event that's more of a slow and steady, because as people trickle through, that gives me a chance to connect with them better, to have that connection, because then they're going to book an appointment. For instance, again, I just did a vendor event on Thursday, and I text my people tonight that I got my new leads I got, and I just said, hey, it's Debbie from the hospital vendor event on Thursday. I don't even remember the script I used, but I stole it from Kristen Sharp. But I said, I just want to make sure I have the right person before I give you the details. And one of my girls, she texted me back and she said, yeah, remember we talked about blah, 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 blah. She remembered me because we had a chance to sit and talk for a few minutes, because it was a slow and steady trickle. It wasn't a mad mob of people. Okay, that's going to increase your chance of booking an appointment. Prime time for a vendor event, typically about 3 to 4 hours. I will tell you, this vendor event that I did one Thursday was 9 hours. It was a long day, 9 hours, but it was at a hospital, and the reason that they did it was to provide a hospital staff. This was a genius idea. Their volunteer coordinator did this. It was a way for the hospital staff to be able to work on their Christmas shopping with crazy hospital hours. So like their staff members came down during breaks. That's why we had this slow trickle all day long, because they were taking breaks all day long. So we had doctors and nurse and radiology techs and pharmacy people all day long come through. It was awesome. Okay, another tip. You guys be in constant communication with the person in charge leading up to it, so that you know what your expectations are. Do you have one table? Do you have 2 tables? Do you have electricity if you want to put lights out? Do you need to bring your own food? Is there food there for you to buy? You know, what are the expectations? Stay in good communication. Again, because you can leave a good impression, and then she's going to give you first dibs next year. All right, pet peeve. When people aren't on time to set up. Oh my gosh, we started at 8 o'clock. There was a booth across from me. The girl came at 8:30. 8:30. I was like, are you kidding me? Be on time to set up. Have a multi-level eye-catching display. So you want to take, they usually provide you with a tablecloth, but you want to take boxes so that you can have stuff on different levels, and then another pretty tablecloth over top of that. You want to do some kind of basket or cute gift bag that you can put entry forms into. And you can get the cute little clipboards to put your entry forms on. Make sure you decorate your table with some kind of bling. I mean, there are plenty of pictures of stuff like that out there. If you've done even one vendor event, I'm sure you have seen people who come in a half an hour late, and they put a few boxes on the table, and then they sit down on the phone. And they don't get up until it's time to go, right? All right, so try not to sit down when you're talking to people, and definitely get off the technology. Again, be on time. The other girl at the other cosmetic company booth, our event was from 8 to 5. She got there, I think it was 11:30, and she left at 3:20. So I'm okay with that, because she also didn't ask anybody any information. So you guys, use it. This is your time. Use it wisely. Okay, here's something we did new at this vendor event that was a game changer for me. You may already know this idea, but this is new for me. We got the idea from Kristen Sharp when she does a trunk show, when she takes her Santa Mobile to a trunk show, and she goes to deliver to somebody at work. She says, hey, I've got some Christmas stuff out in my trunk. Do you want to come and see it? So she comes out and she opens her trunk, and it's kind of like a booth, and that stuff's set up, you know, multi-level and real cute. And she will say to them, do you have any coworkers who want to come out and check stuff out, and I'll have a gift for them. So when a coworker comes out, she has a little scratch-off card. I think she gets it somewhere online. I don't know. But they're not allowed to scratch it off to see what their discount is until they get up to her front seat to check out. Okay, so I got this idea last week. I had about 2 days to brainstorm it. I don't have time to order them online and get them where I'm at. So what we did is I called up my sister, my amazing assistant, and I said, hey, help me out, figure this out. I need it by Thursday. So what she did was she did a postcard size cards, and we did a Secret Santa discount where they could get either $10 off an order, their first order, or 10% off their first order. And we went and we got like unique sized envelopes, invitation sized envelopes is what I think they were called at Walmart. Not a regular envelope. I wanted something a different size, but I just stuck it in there and sealed it. So as I'm having a conversation with the people at the booth event and getting them into my drawing, I said, okay, so here's the deal, Susie. I'm going to give you this mystery discount card. And I hand it to her before I even finish that sentence. I'm handing it to her, so she's taking it. Now here's the deal. This is what I want you to do. I want you to stash it somewhere. Don't open it, but stash it in your purse. And when I give you a call in the next couple of days to get together, we're going to open that together. And inside that envelope is a mystery discount. We're going to reveal that mystery discount together, and that way you have it right there for any purchase you want to make with me. And they were just like, oh my gosh, thank you. Number one, they're going to remember that. And I made it a size that it's not going to get lost like a little tiny business card, because that gets lost in our black abyss called a purse, right? So we called it the mystery discount card that I handed them. And we only did 10% off or $10. Just kind of mixed them up. That way if I had friends and I gave, you know, 3 friends 3 different cards, hopefully one of them at least are different. They don't all get the same thing. And now I'm going to track my progress and see how many people I get to actually book the appointment versus people before. But these discount cards, I have extras, so now I get to use those even in my warm chatting. I can hand those out. And I think, to me, in my head, it sounds like people are going to be more apt to book appointments with me because they have that mystery card. And they have to open it with me. They can't open it before we get together. They have to keep it sealed until we get together. Okay, so recapping again, you guys, be on time, be friendly, don't hide behind your technology. Have a sharp, yes, I will post a pic. Have a sharp dressed outfit down to your hair, down to your accessories, some jewelry on so that you stand out. Again, you want people to be drawn to your booth, not because you just look like you got out of bed, okay? And keep up your energy. If you need to bring extra coffee, if you need to bring some almonds or something to kind of eat in between people to keep up your energy at those events, go right ahead. And then make sure that you're following up with your people within 24 to 48 hours. So I finished the event Thursday night and I've contacted my people already and getting response. If you can hear my phone, I should have turned it off, but it was vibrating because I'm getting people responses back. So let me grab one of those cards. There, so you can see the regular size, like here's a half sheet of paper and here's the envelope. So you can see it's smaller. And then again, this is my sister's brain. This is not mine. I'm not creative. Santa's secret deal. Mary Kay, 10% off your entire purchase. Deal valid only if open in front of Mary Kay consultant Debbie Wagner, because she's such a genius. Right here. I can get this file from her and I'll have her take my name off and I will post it on the W.I.L.D area Facebook page as well. Now, had I thought about it, I would have stamped my contact info on the back of this and on the envelope. But again, we were putting these together the night before the event as we're loading my car, because sometimes we do things last minute around here. So those are my top tips for vendor events and getting new prospects. So does anybody have any questions on anything?
Oh my gosh, no questions, but you are amazing. I want to be you. I want to look. I want, yeah. I want you to recruit me. You did amazing, really.
Thank you, Flash. Oh my gosh, you guys, this was like such a new experience for me. Love it, love it. So thank you, Roya, for making me get out of my comfort zone and do Zoom training. Okay. Anybody else? And then we'll let you enjoy your night. Okay, and I will write a note, you guys, to post the secret card. And if it's not up by tomorrow, somebody send me a Voxer message. All right, other than that, we'll see you next week when we continue and Miracle Morning for Network Marketers. Have a great night, everybody.